your source for everything paranormal. Para-X. The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para-X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
Merry meet and merry part, bright the cheeks and warm the heart. For tread the circle thrice about, to keep unwelcome spirits out. Bide within the law you must, in perfect love and perfect trust. Mind the threefold laws you should, 3 times bad and 3 times good. These 8 words the read fulfill, and ye harm none, do what ye will.
Welcome to Stirring the Cauldron on the Para-X Radio Network. And now, here's your host, Marla Brooks.
Merry meet, everybody, and welcome to Stirring the Cauldron. We're going to be talking about psychic healing tonight with my guest, Joan Rose Staffen. Now, Joan is a writer, an artist, a psychic healer dedicated to assisting others to heal their lives, rediscover their purpose, and stay on the life path. On her spiritual path, since she's, oh my gosh, I've got a cat running in front of me and I can't see what I'm doing. On the spiritual path, since her early 20s, she's explored many healing modalities, including psychic healing, yoga, meditation, and more. And on the spiritual path, oh, I said that already. Sorry, cats in the face. And in addition to talking about psychic healing tonight, she's going to do a healing meditation and some mini readings as well. Now, she's very happy to answer any questions you might have during the show. And if you're not here listening to the live show and in the chat room, you can come over to paraxradionetwork.com and join us. And that way, you can get a mini reading during the show if you'd like. Joan, welcome back, and sorry I messed everything up in the beginning, but I've got this creature like trying to bite me and eat the cords and everything. He's got vinegar in his brain today or something.
I love cats, so.
Well, okay. Thank you for understanding. Yeah.
Yes.
It's just one of those. Usually he sleeps through it, but he woke up and he's like had his Wheaties today or something, and he just wants to bite and be evil. All right. Anyway. Let's talk about healing, because I might need some after tonight. But, healing comes in many forms. I mean, aside from what we grew up with, I mean, there's like spiritual healing. Oh, I got bitten. Energy healing, holistic healing, and more, but the little sin on psychic healing.
Well, we are energy first. So we are surrounded by an aura, and then we have the second chakras, and we actually, because we're energy first, if we keep using really simple methods, if we keep our aura and our chakras clear, then we can physically do better, emotionally and spiritually do much better, and mentally, of course. So I always, it's amazing to me when I discovered the pendulum. I had already taken a psychic healing class from the Berkeley Psychic Institute, and I used to do the healings with my hands. Then I learned that I could do the healings with a pendulum.
Mm-hmm. With the hands, was it kind of like when you're doing Reiki?
Yes. Well, it's very similar to that, and it is, you can really feel your own aura around you, and there's different layers to it, and our auras interact with other people, and then we have our chakra system that runs along the spine, and so that's always interacting with other people. so often in this busy world, when we running into so many people and doing so much, our energy can be affected by other people's energy. So to keep ourselves, high and vibrating at a high vibration, it's really great to keep our 7 chakras cleared and clean, and the aura too. So we can do both of those things with our pendulums, which the pendulum connects with the higher power and higher sources, and then it becomes both the method and also the communication device. So in my method that I use in my books, clearing goes in a clockwise direction, and so you can clear your chakras and your aura. I know it's hard to visualize this, but the first time I had it done, I was amazed, because it can happen so quickly. And then using my charts, I have a chart on the chakras, you can actually pinpoint where the blocks might be or which chakras are affected, and then you simply clear them. And then when your energy is clear, you just have a better life on all levels. So,
we need to clear periodically. I mean, once isn't enough. I mean, I don't know, sometimes it depends on maybe how you feel, but it should be a regular thing, right?
Right. And I pretty much do it on a daily basis in my morning meditation, or I just do it when I realize I might have a really funky afternoon, or something happened and I have no idea what's going on, and then I just use my chakra chart. I figure out which chakra is affected, then I connect with high self and ask that the angels of light and love and high self clear me using the pendulum. So the pendulum will spin around in a clockwise manner, and then when the clearing's done, it will stop. And so it also becomes the communication device between you and your higher self or your spirit guide. So it's pretty amazing, I think. You can do this remotely also. I have 3 sisters, and my sisters call me all the time and ask for clearings or healings for their family members. And of course, I also do this with clients on a very regular basis. But one thing I've really noticed is that in our world, it's really easy to get off track, but with the pendulum, it's very easy to get back on track. So that's what I love about it. It's a form of psychic healing.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you about that, if you can do it remotely for someone else to either clear or heal, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
So when you're doing it for somebody else, are you visualizing that person like you do with remote Reiki? Do you visualize that person and then have a specific area, because somebody will say, well, I hurt my knee, I hurt my back, whatever. Or you could just do it all around them or something. So that's kind of the same thing. As you're using the pendulum, you're visualizing at the same time?
Well, I'm not necessarily visualizing the client. Okay. It's kind of more like I'm tuned to their radio station.
Okay.
So I'm kind of connected with what's happening with them, and then I can do a chakra clearing 1 through 7 fairly quickly, and in each chakra, and I do most of my healings remotely now, is that I'll see little videos or little pictures or little symbols or colors, and sometimes we discuss it, and then mainly we just clear it, And then we ask for that healing energies come in and that chakra be balanced. And then oftentimes also there's cords. And so I just ask the angels of light and love to take out the cords. Cords are like, it's energy from another person. And it can, if someone is, they have the saying, if they're courting you, what happens is they're feeding off your energy and controlling you. So it's kind of weird because I can clairvoyantly see the cords, and I have them taken. I ask the angels to take them out, and then I shield them because it can really drain our energy, and then it can cause us to make poor decisions, especially if someone is controlling us. So it's really good to have your chakras clear and all cords removed, and front and back. And then I often ask the angels of light to shield people's chakras and have only love enter, because people who know us well know how to court us, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely. You know? They know where the weak points are and the strong points. Sure.
Right. The only exception is babies and children. Usually are courted to their mothers and fathers, so that's a healthy thing.
Yeah, I think so.
But so not a boyfriend, right?
Yeah. When we are using the pendulum to clear or heal, what is it doing? I mean, we're holding it up. Is it going to start moving around in clockwise, or what does it do? Anything? I mean,
yeah. For me, it moves in a clockwise direction, and that means that the clearing is taking place. If it goes in a counterclockwise direction, then I know it's kind of fun. I know that things seriously need clearing. So serious clearing, normal clearing, and then at the same time that the energy is clearing, the angels of light and love are bringing in positive healing energy. So it's kind of a process that is happening, because it's, of course, not the pendulum that is actually doing the healing, but it is the angels of light and love, the archangels, or spirit guides. And so it's kind of like, in a way, you kind of move your own personality out of the way and let the pendulum and the angels and the spirit guides actually do the work. You are the facilitator, and you are facilitating the healing.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I know that many of the listeners are familiar with using pendulums, and sometimes we just pick it up and make it work, and people are saying, well, is there a right or wrong way of using them, or just what it works for you?
Well, that's a great question. There's a lot of different ways to use pendulums. So there's different pendulum systems. There is of course, no right or wrong, but the main thing is that you know what your pendulum is communicating to you. So I use the really simple system of the yes that goes to and fro the body, and it's just like shaking your head. Yes, that's a great way to know that that's a yes answer. And then likewise, no goes across your body in an east-west direction, and just like you were shaking your head no. And for me, that's work. That's how I was taught. And then the clearing goes in a circular clockwise direction. So with this system, some systems don't have a clearing signal, so that's why I like the north, south, east, west for yes, no, and then the clearing, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, no, it can. Yeah, you can get a better understanding of what's going on.
Right.
with that because they're so different. Well, okay, so suppose somebody wants to start and learn to use the pendulum. Where do they start?
Well, there is a lot of information. Both my books, the book of Pendulum Healing and the Creative Pendulum, are actually guides for beginners. They actually have introductory chapters that will guide a person on how to use the pendulum. And then also on my website, joanrosestaffen.com, there's videos on how to use the pendulum and for each book. So you're able to, it's kind of like having a class, but people are able to see me using the pendulum. It's a little bit easier.
Yeah.
It really is wonderful. And just the main thing is to be somewhat patient with yourself and with your pendulum. And then the other thing is, like, I can't remember who said this first, but it's almost the pendulum needs to be guided, just like you train a dog. So you have to, if your pendulum is going in all sorts of directions and is not cooperating, you have to tell your pendulum to cooperate and to show you the yes and the no signal and then the clearing signal. Mm-hmm. And then go ahead.
Yeah, no, I said I always do that. It works for me. And whenever I change pendulums, it's the same thing. So I think I've got them all trained to do the same thing.
I know. And they are like little beings, that I think it's funny. I had a girlfriend who had two pendulums that liked each other, so she couldn't keep them in close proximity because they would wind around each other. she'd have to spend time straightening them out. So that always cracked me up. So
that is funny. Well, speaking of, they are like little beings. There's a question from the chat room. What if our pendulum speaks telepathically?
Oh, and that is possible.
Mm-hmm. And
well, it's most probably a spirit guide that's speaking telepathically. Mm-hmm. Because it's kind of, we have to remember that our pendulums are more like pins. Like so many wonderful things have been written because of pins, but it's really the author that the energy is coming through, and that's the same with the pendulum. So,
it's kind of a divination-y thing. Mm-hmm. Well, it is a divination-y thing.
I like that. I like that divination-y thing.
Yeah, it's very professional. So last time you were here, we were talking about your book, The Creative Pendulum, and now we're talking about the book of Pendulum Healing. Now, in the Creative Pendulum book, you have 33 creative intuitive charts, but the Pendulum Healing book also comes with healing charts. Can you tell us a little bit about those?
Right. Well, there's 30 charts. They kind of fall into 4 categories: mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. So there's spiritual charts to help you align with your high self. There's healing charts, which help you pinpoint what the problem is, what the issue is, and whether or not it's emotional, mental, spiritual, or physical. Then there's other charts that help you decide what type of healing is needed. Often, life stress is kind of the number one cause of discomfort, emotional, mental, or physical problems. And so there's a chart on that. And the chart on addictions, because we all have them, and blocks to healing. So that's kind of on. So you're kind of looking for the underlying causes, and then on the positive, more positive side, there's empowering thoughts, feelings, needs, what healing arts would be good for you. There's charts on aromatherapy, crystals, flower essences, and so it has kind of a wide range of charts, so it helps you pinpoint what you need in that moment. At first it sounds a little overwhelming, but once you learn how to use the pendulum with the charts, which is not hard, then you're able to learn to use all the other charts. So you can actually do a pretty complete inventory on yourself, figuring out for yourself what you need in a particular moment.
Well, I think, too, that when we grab for the pendulum, there's always some particular thing we're trying to find out. So
exactly.
So when you get acquainted with the charts in there, and I think there's nothing that you didn't put in there that we'd come up with, so you just then you grab that particular chart. So I mean that sounds pretty easy, because it's not like you have, 2 charts in there and you have to figure it out. It's not the case. Mm-hmm. So do you also have charts? I know, because sometimes people use the pendulum over a kind of a chart thing, like it looks like a Ouija board, just to spell things out for you. Mm-hmm. So do you do that too with yours? You do have like an alphabetical one that, if you need more than a yes or no answer, it might come up?
Well, I don't. It is more, it's a little bit, the charts themselves can be used in a very clear way. So you could get a very clear answer, or it can be metaphorical. So instead of having to kind of laboriously see if you need aromatherapy, like spelling out a long word, it can send you right to aromatherapy. Some people, kind of what happened for me once I used the charts and used the pendulum on kind of an ongoing daily basis, I got really fascinated with it, of course, and I was trained in it. But what happened was, just by using the charts, I became more clairvoyant and clairaudient. Mm-hmm. And so I haven't gone back to using an alphabet chart. Mm-hmm. Although I did it, like in my 20s, I played with Ouija boards. So.
Didn't we all? Yes.
Maybe
some still do, yeah.
I know. Well, Ouija boards were originally very popular after World War II, because people used them, or World War I, people used them to communicate with their loved ones on the other side. Mm-hmm. And then, it was produced by a game company, but originally it was a more serious spiritual tool. Mm-hmm. And, so...
And it became a game.
And it became a game.
I think it was Milton Bradley that came out, and maybe that's why they made a whole lot of money, because it was something different, aside from the other games, which were good. Yeah. I've got another chat room question. Can we use our pendulums to heal our pets as well?
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, yes. That can be really fun. Well, it's really, you probably know this, Marla, but your cat probably likes your pendulum, right? Likes to bat at it.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Right. Uh-huh. But you can actually, you can use the charts and do healings on your animals. And you can I also check I think cats and dogs have like 5 chakras. So I have cleared their chakras before. And then as I said, I became more clairaudient. So I could hear what the animals were telling me. Mm-hmm. Most of us, like if we have a cat, you're probably intuitively in tune with your cat, right? But you can kind of take it up another notch from that. It's very interesting. Yeah.
That would be interesting. Yeah. Of course, I might be afraid of what he's saying because he's, that's who he is. Yeah, there's one in every group, right? And so maybe I'm going to have to dig out the book and dig out that chart and kind of clean out his chakras because he's never had them cleaned out, and maybe that could be an issue.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe he wouldn't be so bitey at times.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes he's really fine, but yeah.
What's his name?
Well, we call him T. When we got him from the shelter, they called him Tiger, but he wouldn't answer to that. And I did about 50 different names to see what he would answer to. And I finally said T, and he perked up. So it's just an initial. Yeah. So,
and the other thing you can do with your animals without is just to clear them. Because animals because they're dependent on us, they are picking up our feelings and our moods and our emotions. And so it's just good to clear them, too. And then clear the chakras. Let me see if T has a message for you.
Oh, God, help me.
Well, this is so sweet. He says he loves you best of all. And
there's nobody else you can. Never mind, sorry.
Yeah. No, but he says you have given him safety and a home. And he's just kind of learning to trust that right now.
It's been a long time for coming because he's been here like 8 years or something.
Yeah.
Like that. But yeah, it's when you get certain animals, you from kittens or whatever, the backstory. But when you get one from a shelter, you don't know what they've been through and stuff. So I think they're a little bit more feral and stuff. But yeah, I will try and cleanse him and get his chakras in order because he might be happier that way. I mean, he's not unhappy. Half the time he's just purring and drooling and being a good cat. But every so often he's really kind of stubborn and like he wanted to chew on the cord here when I was doing the opening and and then I pushed him off the desk and then he bit me. That's how it goes, But he doesn't, this is my life. It could be a lot worse. He's a good kitty most of the time. That's all I can say.
He has his moods. He has his moods.
Yeah. Yeah, he's one big walking mood and stuff. Let me see. Okay, the Pendulum book enables readers to chart their own healing course for our bodies. But it's also body, mind, and spirit. So all three vital aspects are covered in the book. It's not just, you have a broken arm or something or, whatever. I mean, three things go together, body, mind, and spirit. And I think, but what do you think is the most important thing that people should know about healing and their health?
Well, I did quite a bit of, I was a healer for 26 years by the time I wrote this book, or 20 years, let's say that. But I did quite a bit of research, and what I really found was that people really, this isn't emphasized enough. This is what I think. If people eat correctly, exercise, and if they stay active and they love their life, all those things, then you're going to be really healthy. A lot of healing issues that we have are because we're out of balance in one area of our life. And that is not, it is so easy to do. Like at one time, Marla, I was a single mom running a high-tech company. And wanting to be a writer, right?
I'll throw that one in too, as if two wasn't enough. Yeah.
But my life was very stressful, and there came a point in my business where I knew I just had to downsize because the stress was overwhelming, right?
Yeah.
And so I listened to that, and then I do all the other things. I eat a fairly healthy diet. I exercise every day. And, I kind of attend to my spiritual needs and then my mental needs too, So I read books and all that. So if you can find that balance in your life and that flow in your life, that's what's so important. And you will still stay very healthy.
Okay. It makes good sense. All right. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, you guys, Joan is going to do a healing meditation for everybody. So sit back, relax, and take a couple of deep cleansing breaths in the meantime. Of course, unless you have to go to the bathroom or something. But in either case, we will be back in 2 minutes.
Cauldron will be right back, so don't go away. If you end up with webbed feet, remember, you've been warned.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Juarez with Cat Paranormal of Minnesota.
And I'm Jerry Ayers with Supernatural Investigators of Minnesota. And together, we are The Calling. Every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on ParaXRadioNetwork.com.
For a truly unique podcast experience, we have you covered. Spirit by You with CJ Dunham airs live from the Third Coast in Southeast Texas on Tuesday and Fridays at midnight Eastern Time, covering Creole folklore and folk magic to strange paranormal activity to new equipment for the field. CJ Dunham is a Catholic swamp witch, a devotee to our Mother Mary and the Trinity, a true believer in our Lord, the Holy Ghost, and Christ. Peace be with your spirit, and the spirits by you.
Hey everyone, it's Marla. If you like tonight's episode of Stirring the Cauldron and the archive podcast as well, take a look at the show's YouTube channel and check out the dozens of shows that are there just waiting to be heard. New shows are added each week, and while you're there, why not subscribe? It's free. And if you click on that tiny little bell icon at the top of the page, you'll be notified when new shows are available. Just go to youtube.com and then type in Stirring the Cauldron ParaX and the link will appear. Just like magic.
Welcome back to Stirring the Cauldron. Once again, here's your host, Marla Brooks.
My guest tonight is Joan Rose Staff. Oh my God, today, Staffen. Yeah, he's up and running again. But we're talking to her about her book, Pendulum Healing. And I mentioned that she was going to do a healing meditation and some mini readings as well. So let's get started with the meditation.
Okay. Well, I hope everyone is comfortable in a chair or on the floor. And let's just put our feet on the floor, just imagining that they're really heavy. We're grounding. We're going to do a grounding meditation first. Grounding is great because we need to be grounded so we can manifest our dreams. So just imagine that you have little roots growing from the bottom of your feet to the center of the earth, connecting with Divine Mother. She's giving everyone hugs, and we're bringing up her energy that travels at the speed of light up through our feet, out to our toes, ankles, legs, knees, thighs. And then from our first and second chakras, we're going to send down roots, tap roots, again to the center of the earth, connecting to Divine Mother. And we're bringing up her energy up through our back, into our spine, into our pelvic region, the core of our body, into our heart, lungs, chest, into our shoulders. So just take a couple deep breaths and just feel the beauty of that Mother, Divine Mother's energy in our body, and we're going to send it down our arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, hands, and fingers. Beautiful green and gold healing energy, and it's coming back up our arms, into our shoulders, neck, head, spelling over, clearing, cleansing, healing. And now we're going to connect with our high self on top of our head and bring in the cosmic energy, green and gold. And it's going to fill our aura, and anything that's in our aura is now sent down into the earth to be recycled, and our beautiful aura is filled with this beautiful green and gold healing energy. And then we're going to clear and cleanse the chakras. And the first chakra at the base of our spine is usually a beautiful earth red color. And we want that chakra open because we want to be grounded. We just feel more centered. We can manifest whatever we've been trying to bring into our life, all the good. And so it's a beautiful earth red color. And then a few inches above, we have the second chakra. It's the creativity and sexuality chakra. And it's front and back. And it's a beautiful orange color. And this is, it's important in our lives to be creative in almost every aspect of our life, because that's what makes human beings so unusual, you know. And so we figure out new solutions all the time. So whatever business, or if you're a homemaker, or if you're an artist, we all need our creativity and our sexuality. And then our third chakra in our solar plexus is like a beautiful sun, and we keep this cleared. Oftentimes people might be discouraged or depressed, and that's where I'll see some dark energy. And oftentimes there might be people trying to overpower us, and so you might find cords in the back or even in the front of this chakra. So we're just going to ask the angels of light and love to release any cords and to just fill this, our solar plexus chakra, with beautiful sunlight front and back. And then, you know, just being on planet Earth, our hearts can be heavy. Sometimes there's stones in our heart chakra, so oftentimes I just see the angels of light and love like taking the stones out of the heavy heart and just taking this difficult energy. And then oftentimes I see Archangel Raphael put his hand on a client's heart, but you can visualize this yourself. And the way I know it's Archangel Raphael, he has really big hands. So you see these big hands front and back, just giving you heart energy, heart forces, clearing, cleansing, healing, front and back. Sometimes, we store old hurts in the back of our heart chakra, so just ask the angels of light and love to clear that out. And then just see this beautiful green color. It can be like a pale green or a forest green. Just beautiful healing color in our heart chakras. And then our throat, which is connected with our hands, is really important for creativity. And then the throat, of course, is the communication center. And a healthy throat chakra will often be blue, and this can be different shades of blue also. Sometimes like sea blue, sometimes sky blue, sometimes turquoise. And we want to keep our throat chakras clear because we want to be able to communicate with ourselves, with our high self, with higher power. We want to be able to write and to do all the things. And if we're artists, of course, we want that energy just flowing through our arms. And on some level, we're all artists. So we want to keep those channels open. And then our third eye, this is, where we have both our intuition, our psychic experiences, and our rational mind. And we really want this all in balance. Sometimes I see people's third eye, is very well developed, but I see them as all different colors, and sometimes they're also like crystals. And so we have chakra in the front and also one in the back of our heads. So it's good to have that one open, just to watch your back, especially, if you're in stressful situations. So, and then on top of our head, this is our connection to Source and to high self, our angels, our guides, our loved ones, deceased loved ones. So this one, of course, sometimes we shut it down because we don't want to have spiritual experiences or they scare us, but we just ask the angels of light and love to open this channel. And often people who meditate, I often see these really strong, like gold cords above their head. It's interesting. Sometimes I've seen crowns on people's heads, like they've been queens or kings, or I've seen like dancing, like this person had these little hats. They were a dancer in the 1920s, really cute. And so anyway, sometimes there's different symbols on top of the head. So just take a moment and you can just look at each chakra and see the colors running up from the base of your spine, up through your throat, and top of your head. And it is amazing that we are like little rainbows. We have all these rainbow colors. And then oftentimes, like if people need healing, I just see the angels of light and love and the archangels just filling the aura also with this just beautiful healing light, pale green or dark green. And green is the color of healing. And it's kind of like you just keep breathing in. You can just breathe in, the healing power of the angels of light and love. Another little nice movement to help the angels with your healing is to put your right hand on your power chakra, left hand on your heart chakra. You can do this right before you go to bed. You can just ask for healing, ask them to heal you while you sleep. And it can also just kind of calm you down for sleep. So it's kind of an angelic Reiki healing method. So right now, just feel your aura filled with beautiful healing light, sometimes pink, sometimes green, sometimes gold. It surrounds and enfolds you from the top of your head to below your feet, out to your fingertips. You are folded in love, light, and healing. You are loved beyond measure, and you can let go and let the angels heal you on all levels: emotional, spiritual, mental, and physical. So you can take a deep breath and just give yourself a hug. And thank yourself for being here and allowing this healing to take place. And to know that you are precious, that you are here for a purpose, and that your life is unfolding just as it is supposed to be right now in this moment. Just give thanks for that, and thank you, angels of light and love and archangels, for being here, and all the other healing spirits who are also with us. For this we give thanks in your holy names.
I feel relaxed.
Or are you ready for bed?
all the cat stuff went away for a minute.
Yes, they got a healing too.
And he's asleep, so we're good.
He's asleep.
All right. We have a few minutes. If anybody in the chat room wants a mini reading, just let me know. And, you can wave or type or, whatever. And, in the meantime, I was thinking about auras again, and you were talking about that we could feel our auras. Mm-hmm. I can't. I mean, I never thought about feeling an aura. So is it a special feeling? I mean, I try not to sound stupid, but yeah.
Well, an exercise that's real simple to do is you can kind of feel your hand energy, right? Mm-hmm. So just put your hands together and put them back and forth, rub them together, okay? Mm-hmm. And then take them about 8 inches apart,
mm-hmm.
and then you should kind of be able to feel like a ball of energy, and you can feel the parameters of that ball,
mm-hmm.
right? Can you feel that?
Yeah, I do that all the time. I make energy balls, and it's really nice.
Right.
And then, for healing too, I make the ball, and then I will visualize, and I will just force the ball in their direction, and I can see it hit the part of the body, and all the golden healing comes out. It's fun. I mean, it's a good thing.
Right.
Somebody wants a reading. Let's do that in case we don't run out of time.
Okay.
It's Lily, and what do you need from her? Any?
I need to know. It's helpful if I know her whole name, and if I know where she is from, what town. I know that.
Okay.
Let's see.
I think I know. Okay. Her name is Lily Alley.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she's up in Syracuse, New York, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And she'll tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that's about where she is.
And I'm getting that I do have her permission to do this healing for her. Just asked her. And what does she need?
We have like a little 30-second delay, so she will come up with that when she hears this. But yeah, it's Syracuse, New York. Okay. And so if anybody else wants a reading, remember those 3 things. Okay. It's almost there. What do you need, Lily? Okay. And she says, I just have a lot of health issues.
Mm-hmm. So on the chart I was guided to, the first chart in this system was healthy living. And this is interesting. It's saying you need to work on your purpose for living. And so as you tune into your purpose for living, it's like you'll be able to walk this healing path. Let me see what else comes up. And it's going to the chart of physical body. And I'm getting something about the throat. Okay. And look, it's going to the chakra chart. So, okay. So, this is, I'm going to first clear Lily's throat. So it's kind of a communication blockage. In that perhaps, Lily, you don't know what your purpose is right here, right now on Earth. So I'm clearing your throat chakra so that you can communicate more clearly with your angels and with the beings of light. For some reason, I'm also seeing a wolf. And I don't know if that's a guide of an animal guide. And I'm clearing your throat chakra. I'm getting that, in a past life you were also hung around, so your neck, you paid the price for that lifetime. And it was kind of a huge injustice. And it's kind of amazing that you even came back to the earth plane because you were treated so badly. It was you did something small and you paid with your life. And so I'm clearing that. And there was a lot of grief associated with the throat chakra also, and I'm just clearing that. But you were very brave for coming back. And it's kind of like all the physical symptoms are kind of showing you past lives where you had an injustice. When you're sick, it just feels like an overall injustice, right? So I'm just going to clear that, all the emotion of injustice. You were brave for coming back, and you wanted to work with these issues. I'm also seeing that you wrote a contract wanting to take care of everything in one lifetime. So you might look at that and decide you're going to work on 2 issues rather than a lot of issues. I'm hearing 10 issues. Does that make sense? And anyway, I'm just giving you an overall clearing, and I'm just going to ask the angels of light and love to work on you for the next 3 weeks at night while you sleep. So I hope this has helped. It's a very mini reading.
Oh, that's good, because you hit several nails on the head, according to what she's saying in the chat room. Now, we have like 3 minutes, but I think this is going to be an easy one. Her name is Kathy Ciliento. She's from Staten Island, New York, and she said she didn't know that the third eye had colors. So she said, can you see what color hers is?
I'm seeing that it's green, that you have a green third eye, and I would think that would indicate that you're a healer. And I'm seeing crystal, like green crystal with a little bit of gold also. Very beautiful third eye. Very beautiful.
I saw it when you said it. It flashed in my mind too. That's very pretty.
Gorgeous.
All right. We have to go, unfortunately. Okay. I mean, the pendulum on the clock is saying that we're almost out of time. So please give out your website information real quick.
Okay.
And where people can find you.
Okay. I'm at joanrosestaffen.com. And you can also find me on Amazon, Joan Rose Staffen. And you can buy my books there, and then there's some YouTube videos on how to use the pendulum. And I just want to thank everyone and Marla for having me tonight. Thank you so much.
Well, it was my pleasure, and we'll have you back. You can come back. You can come back as if you need her. Yeah, right. Definitely, we'll do it. And Kathy said that green is her favorite color. There you go.
That's beautiful.
And Lily said you were spot on.
Oh, great. Well,
there you go.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Again, Joan, thank you for paying us another visit, and all you guys listening in as well. And until next time, everybody, blessed be, and merry meet again. Good night.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Stirring the Cauldron with Marla Brooks. Please join us again next week at the same time for another great guest and more cauldron stirring. Any rebroadcast or other use of this program without explicit permission is strictly prohibited. Copyright 2024. The Mysterioso March by Kevin MacLeod is licensed through Incompetech.com.